everyone, it's Miranda, and today I am back with a new video. I know it's been a while, I'm really sorry, I've been pretty busy lately. Anyway, I hit 7,000 followers on Instagram, which might sound really stupid. Coming from someone who was really unpopular in school and didn't really have many friends or social interactions in general, this is a huge milestone for me. Just knowing that many people enjoy my content and seeing my snakes, it means the world to me. So thank you everyone for 7,000 followers, and I hope to keep growing and sharing my photos and my love of reptiles with many more people. Just for the record, I came back from the beach not too long ago, and this might be the only video or photo of myself not wearing all black, which is really weird. If it makes up for it, I'm wearing a black bathing suit, but whatever. So over the past year, or just since I started making videos really, I have had a lot of changes to my little reptile family, and because of that, I thought that today's a really good video. Okay, my cat just literally opened up a door with her paws. Oh my god. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Had to take care of a little cat problem. So anyway, there have been a lot of changes to my collection, so I just kind of want to go over all of my current reptiles and share them with you guys, as well as a disclaimer that I will be getting 2, possibly 3 new additions, and then after that, I'm done. I have basically everything that I want. So anyway, this is Elton. He is the first snake that I ever got. If you want to know more about him, I did an entire video on him, and when I got him a couple weeks ago, I just had my 2-year anniversary of owning Elton. I got him on June 25th, 2017. He is my first snake. He is a Candino ball python. I got him as a baby from Tandem Reptiles at the Manchester Reptile Expo in New Hampshire. He is just such a good little boy. I absolutely adore him. I love everything about him. If you want to know more about him, I'm not gonna talk too much about Elton since I do have an entire video about him that I just posted. He is my favorite. That's all you need to know. If something catastrophic ever happened and I needed to go down to one snake, Elton would be the one. No questions asked. I would keep. He is going to be with me forever, no matter what. So again, his breeder was Tandem Reptiles, and I talked about this a little bit in my previous video, but I haven't really heard anything from Tandem Reptiles. Basically, since I got Elton, I believe I stated in my video about Elton that I had only seen Tandem Reptiles the day that I bought him. That's not true. I remembered I was going to get a female Candino from him, I think at the expo in October 2017. That was the last time that I saw him. He's been MIA since 2017. Probably show a little footage of Elton outside and then move on to the next one. Next up, I have Hodor, who was named after the Game of Thrones character Hodor. He is a jungleanary boa constrictor that I got from Ouroboros Reptiles at the main Reptile Expo in Portland, also in 2017. Now, this is really weird because this breeder is another one that once I saw them and I got Hodor, I saw him for maybe about a year after, and I haven't seen him at any more expos or really had any contact with him. But he was a really great guy, and I definitely recommend if anyone can find Ouroboros Reptiles. If I'm wrong in that, I'll put a correction on the screen. Hodor is very special to me because as a child, I was always really drawn to boa constrictors. A boa constrictor is actually the first snake that I ever got to hold, and I've always been very fascinated by the species, always really adored them, and I have to say I probably do like boa constrictors more than ball pythons. I just have more ball pythons because they're definitely more accessible and they don't get as large as boa constrictors. At some point I really, really want a snow boa or a moon glow, but I would want a female, and unfortunately I just don't have the room or the space, time, money for a snow or any boa constrictor at the moment. And that's fine because having one and just being happy with him and knowing that it's as great a snake as Hodor, that's good enough for me really. It's just being able to have Hodor. And he was birthed in 2016. I don't know his exact birth date, but I got him when he was about a year old in August 2017 at that expo that I was talking about. He is such a curious little guy. Hodor is probably one of the coolest snakes I own in the sense that nothing phases him. Like, I don't know if it's boa constrictors more so than ball pythons, they are just not as prone to stress, but I can definitely have Hodor out more than any other snake, and I never have any issues with him. He does, besides him wanting to climb everything around me. Yeah, this is what it's like having a boa constrictor, any species that's semi-arboreal. All they're gonna wanna do is climb and go up. Hodor might have the coolest eyes out of all of my snakes. They are pure silver, and when I take him out to get a video of him, I'm gonna have to try to get a really close-up video of his eyes so you guys can see how cool they are, because honestly, like, I've never seen eyes like this in any sort of species before. I know that it probably comes hand in hand with the anarymorph. I like to think that Hodor is special, I guess, because to me he is special. He was my first snake that wasn't a ball python. I got him pretty soon after Elton, so he is essentially one of my first snakes, and he's my favorite species. So I adore large constrictors. I really, really want a Burmese python or a reticulated python. Maine has to suck really bad and have them illegal for some stupid reason. Also, I named him Hodor because he's going to be the largest snake that I have. Hodor was one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones, and he was also a lot larger than the other characters, so I figured it was a very suiting name for him. So here I have Cinnamon Girl, and she is a cinnamon ball python that is 100% head for pied. I have had her since I believe also August 2017. I got her in a trade from a breeder named Jason Goodwin, who is based out of New Hampshire. She is probably one of the sweetest snakes that I own. I have had her since she was just so small. I debated for a while about whether or not I was going to sell her. I've mentioned several times that I'm getting out of the cinnamon gene, but in the end, she was just too precious to me. I couldn't get rid of her. I can't bond with snakes. Well, snakes can't bond with us, but I just feel such a connection with her, and I know that it's all in my head, and it's literally just these feelings and thoughts that I have created and that I'm like pushing on her. But I want her. I don't care if I never use her for breeding and she's just a really sweet pet. Like, I really want to keep Cinnamon Girl forever, and I know that I've been showing outdoor shots of my snakes so far, but Cinnamon Girl is very deep in shed, so I'm just going to get very quick images of her zombie eyes and how, like, I just think that when they're so deep in shed and they look really dark and like ghastly, they look really beautiful. So I'm going to take very quick video clips of that, and then I'm going to put her back. Maybe when she sheds, I'll do like another little video, but I don't want to bother her too much. She normally does really well, but I'm not going to unnecessarily stress her out just for a video. Guess who's also in shed? Lottie. So Lottie is my black pastel het pied ball python. I got her and her sister sold to me as her brother, but actually her sister in October 2017. And her sister is a black pastel pied ball python who I'm getting back. I'm so excited. I sold her, I'm getting her back, but enough about that. Let's focus on Lottie. So like I said, that she's in shed, so the same situation for Cinnamon Girl. I'm not really gonna like take her outside and stress her out, even though she is a gentle giant. It's still not really fair to her to bring her outside when she's in shed. I got Lottie and her sister Ludwig from kind of a weird person, so if you want to go back and watch my previous video on them, I said the breeder name there, but I don't even think they're into snakes anymore. So because of that reason, I'm not going to link them or talk about them. But this is Lottie. She's the largest and oldest snake that I own. She's a 2016 female who I really hope to be breeding this season. I would love for her to produce some eggs. So she's just such a gorgeous and sweet girl. Fun fact about Lottie, she is my mom's first and so far only snake bite. It turns out that any sort of raw meat attracts snakes. It was Thanksgiving and my mom was just cleaning up turkey and whatever, and she was holding Lottie because at that time Lottie was still my largest snake, even though she was quite a bit smaller. And my mom has never really liked snakes, so she was trying to overcome her fear, and she was holding Lottie, and she did this thing where she rubbed her head against my mom's arm, and then right after that she bit my mom's hand and she coiled, and my mom freaked out. She was screaming. She even said, like, it doesn't hurt, it's just really scary. Eventually Lottie let go, and then she was looking around like, what? I couldn't swallow that. That tasted terrible. But my mom even said, she's like, that really wasn't that bad. It just kind of scared the crap out of me. So this is lovely Lottie. She's a really, like, I love the morphs that they're not normal, but they look kind of subtle, like the base morphs. Like black pastel is my favorite single gene. I think that Lottie is one of the most gorgeous snakes that I have. This is Zephyr. She is my second Candino ball python. I won her in a Facebook auction group, and I can never remember her breeder's name, so I'm going to put it up here, down here, somewhere. I'm going to show the breeder's name. I always knew that I wanted to breed Candinos, and for a while I was looking for a female for Elton, but I really just couldn't find one that had a quality that matched his. And I always have kind of said that quality doesn't matter, but Elton just has these vibrant purples, and I kind of wanted to find a female that mimicked them and had similar colorations. And I think that she's absolutely gorgeous. Zephyr is a really good snake. She was named after the Zephyr song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Her in the springtime, I thought she was as pretty as a flower. It was naturey outside, and of course the Zephyr song is about nature, so I just thought it was really fitting. Zephyr is my snake that she will always periscope without fail, For a while, she was probably my only periscoper. Now that I have Chidori and my super black pastel, whose name I'm gonna say very soon, and even Delia sometimes, all of them periscope, but she will always be the OG periscoping queen. I used to refer to her as the Loch Ness Monster when she was younger, just because she looked like a little Loch Ness Monster. So yeah, this is Zephyr. Next up is Delia. Delia is a very special snake to me because she was the snake that hatched out of my first clutch. And I know that I keep calling it my first clutch, and that's really because I don't know what to call it, but for those of you who don't know, I purchased a gravid female named Delia back in April of 2018. In June, she gave me a clutch of eggs. She was gravid from her previous owner. Her previous owner had paired her. However, I collected the eggs, incubated them, hatched them out, and I was basically in charge of selling them and finding new homes. And Delia is the one snake that I kept from that clutch. She is a cinnamon pastel hidden gene Woma ball python. I will never ever get rid of Delia either, just because she's so special. Not only was she from my first clutch, but she is the first snake that pipped and fully came out of the egg for that clutch. So she's so special to me. I think that she's absolutely gorgeous. She's sweet now. When she was a very little snake, a very young snake, she wanted everyone and everything around her dead. She's always had a really great appetite. I've never had issues with her eating, but she definitely likes to bite anything and everything around her. Thankfully now you can tell that she's calmed down, and nippiness really is a phase just for hatchlings. So I'm so happy that she grew out of it and is now just such a sweet snake. She definitely has, I think, the most puppy dog face out of my snakes, and I'll show you what I mean when I get some clips of her outside. They're outside now, but there's a crying child passing through. I'm just gonna wait until they're gone because this is pretty awkward. Okay, I think they're gone, so I'm gonna go ahead and put her outside. is Chidori. He is a super butterball python that is 100% het for ghost. He is a blue-eyed leucistic, obviously. And fun fact about him, so I love Naruto. I named him after Kakashi and Sasuke's jutsu, the Chidori. And every time that I meet someone who asks what his name is and they don't like Naruto, this is also only for people that I know in real life. I'm a really weird, awkward, shy person, and I don't really want anyone thinking that I'm weirder and more shy than I already am. So whenever someone asks for his name, I just tell them that his name is Walter, because that's so much easier than explaining, yeah, he's named after this jutsu in an anime. And I don't know, for me, I just feel more comfortable telling people that his name is Walter than Chidori. I got him from E2 Reptiles, who I could not recommend more if you're looking for a ball python. Highly, highly recommend them if you're in the market for a new snake. So responsive and friendly, and just the quality is amazing, no health issues, just you couldn't ask for a better breeder. Chidori is also the periscoping king. He will periscope so much, it's the cutest thing ever. He probably is second to Zephyr, who, as you're going to see, or as you already saw, had the biggest periscope that I have ever seen. Like, that broke records, and I'm so happy that I got it on video. But Chidori definitely comes in a close second. So when I first got him, usually hatchling blue-eyed leucistics, they have a pinky tone, but he is now getting to the point where he's starting to lose some of that and he's really getting lighter, which I think is really neat. I definitely prefer large species of snakes over the small ones. I love boa constrictors, Burmese pythons, as I've already said. However, I do prefer to raise my snakes from hatchlings. Chidori. What a ham. Oh, Chidori! Oh my goodness! So, I'm having a wardrobe malfunction. I'll see you guys outside with Chidori when he stops misbehaving. Oh my goodness! Chidori! Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. I lost a lot of daylight really quickly, so I'm using the flash on my phone when I record. My phone is also broken, by the way, but I'll talk about this later. If I don't look at the camera, it's because I'm literally being blinded by the flashlight. Anyway, this is my super black pastel probable het-pied male ball python, and his name is Galileo. Galileo is the name that I chose. It really did come down to Galileo and Slim Shady. In the end, I decided on Galileo. I got him from, I think it was like Las Vegas Exotic Pets. I have a whole video on getting him and how much I had an okay experience with them. Dealing with the owner was fine. It was just the condition that Galileo arrived in that I was very unhappy with. Like I said, you can watch that video for more of an explanation. He's got these really cool orca whale ringers on him, which leads me to believe that he is het-pied. However, the Las Vegas pets, they were not the breeder of him. They purchased him and then resold him. And for that reason, they don't really know anything about his background. They said that he's never been bred, but they don't know for sure. Anyway, with a ringer strong as this, I would say there's a pretty damn good chance that he is het-pied, but I would love to prove him out eventually. Disclaimer? Yeah, okay, I finally have a snake that's as dark as my soul, and I love him to pieces. He's just such a sweet boy, really easygoing, and he's really awesome. Also, as a disclaimer, I would just like to say that anyone who doesn't really know anything about snakes is probably just like, oh my god, how do you keep so many? That's animal hoarding. There's no way that you could possibly care for all of them. That could not be any further from the truth. So snakes, especially ball pythons, are so easy to care for as long as you know what you're doing. I personally use rack systems, and even though I use a rack system, I don't use like the bare bones. They have clutter, they have hides, a large water dish. It's basically just like a mini standalone tub setup, but I have multiple of them. He's just watching, it's really cute. But it's so easy to care for them. You just have to basically clean up after their waste and then feed them. I used to feed once a week, but I found that my snakes were getting pretty overweight, and now I've been feeding bi-weekly, and I find that that's so much better. My snakes look a lot healthier. And don't be afraid to change the way that you care for your snakes as you grow as a keeper, because things are always constantly changing and you're going to find what works to you. And just because you've done something the same way for so long doesn't mean that it's the right way. And it's for that reason that you should always be open to new advice, always be open to trying new things with your snakes and how you care for them. And that's really the best way to improve and grow as a keeper. We've come to the end. This is my newest addition, who I got at a reptile expo about 2 weeks ago. This is Ikana. He is a baby normal blood python. I have been wanting a blood python for so long. Finally, I just bit the bullet and said, if I don't get one now, I'm never going to. I absolutely love him. I love blood pythons. He's so perfect. He sometimes has a little bit of an attitude that he might grow out of. I'm hoping that he does, especially when he's older, but for now when he's young, I think it's kind of cute. I know that he is wicked small, but he's eating normally. Like, he's already had 2 meals with me, and I've had no reason to believe that he is like otherwise sick or just not doing okay. Like, despite being super small, I've had no issues with him, and he's doing really well in quarantine so far. He is named after Ikana Canyon in Majora's Mask. My mom and I are almost always playing Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, whatever. So we were climbing Stone Tower in Ikana Canyon around the time that I went to the expo. And seeing his colors, it just kind of reminded me of Ikana Canyon. And also I can make a whole video just talking about video games of Majora's Mask and all the lore behind it, especially in Ikana Canyon. I'm not going to do that because this is a snake video, but I think the fact that he's a blood python and just naming him after Ikana Canyon was so fitting. So this is Ikana. He is my blood python. I got him from Major League Exotics, who I believe, unfortunately I learned this after, and this is why I do as I say, not as I do. They are a wholesale breeder. I did look up, so what I did is I looked up their reviews to see if they were legitimate, and they are. They don't have any bad reviews, but they are wholesale. So they'll buy reptiles that are unwanted or that they can't find homes and then resell them. I do strongly prefer buying from an actual breeder, but at the expo I went in terms of reviews and not sort of like who they were as a breeder. It wasn't just like some new person that I decided to buy from out of the blue. I had seen them at expos before and I had researched them, and I hadn't seen anything suspicious or fishy. Everyone had good reviews, but I did later learn that they were wholesale. But I mean, that's not necessarily bad, it's just, you know, they're wholesale breeders. So yep, this is Ikana. He is my small boy. I love him so much. My small boy. I love him so much. So this is basically going to conclude today's video. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed getting to meet all of my snakes. And I would just like to say that I'm getting 2, probably maybe 3 more snakes soon. I'm getting Ludwig, my black pastel pied female, back, along with Khaleesi, my albino black pastel female, and possibly a special needs one-eyed snake ball python. I'm not sure yet, but definitely Khaleesi and Ludwig at the very least. So I'm probably going to make a new video when I get them and that whole experience. Until then, I will be back with a new video. I have a couple more filmed that I've just been way too busy to edit, but hopefully it's coming soon. So just wanted to make this one and put it out there. Hope you guys like the newest edition, Ikana, and I will be sure to post more content of him because I'm completely obsessed with this snake. Blood pythons are slowly becoming one of my favorite species just because of how I think they're so cool. I don't know what it is. I just think that blood pythons are really cool. Anyway, also make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I will definitely be back for more. I think that's about it, so take care. Bye guys.